Welcome back to the Frugal Gardener's Garden. We are a few days away from fall, and I'm going to do something that I've never done before. Everybody likes to show you the pretty pictures of their garden, everything that's growing, and I do the same. But this is the worst you will probably ever see my garden look. Why? Because even though I'm in 6B, I grow in the fall and winter. So it kind of reminds me of when you used to watch TV and they put a pie in the oven or a cake, and then they'd pull out one that's completely done, and they would say, through the magic of television. And I think the Food Network, I'm not sure who it was, but they stopped the bakers from saying that, because there is no magic. What you see here are the remnants of last summer. And before I can start gardening this fall and this winter, I have to rip all this out. I have to amend the soil. I need a plan. Well, I have a plan of what I'm going to plant, what can grow in the winter, how long it's going to take, and where I'm going to plant. So that's what we're going to talk about today. This over here is going to be where I plant my Napa cabbage. And over here to the left right now, believe it or not, there are carrots in there. I'm going to harvest those carrots. All this is coming out, and this is going to be cone cabbage. Well, why am I putting cone cabbage here? Because it grows vertical. This is a small area. I can get more in that area. Same goes for over here. They call it Chinese cabbage. They call it Napa cabbage. Same thing. It grows vertical. I can get more in there. Now, you probably can't see this too well. This is kind of a lip. That's my heat mat there. I have a couple of pots. I'm going to put a pot with broccoli over here. And I'm going to put my carrots that are already growing over here. And I'll probably have room for one more. This has to be cleaned out. Pretty much all this I'm going to use for greens. This is what I'm kind of preparing. This soil is less than ideal. So I'm going to have to dump these, break this up, and probably add some nutrients to this. I am most likely going to put a starter in one of these, or starters, and I'm probably going to grow just regular lettuce in the other three. This I've already shown you. This is going to stay put. This is my late sweet potatoes. Now here's the problem. Sweet potatoes do not like the cold. So I'm going to have to be careful, mindful of the temperature, and make sure that I keep these babies warm, because I like to grow them for the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays. I told you this was a mess. This is one of my grapevines. There's another one over there. These are one of my strawberry plants. All this will have to be redone. So my garden is not one garden, it's actually 3 separate gardens. And this is where this is one of my do-it-yourself trellises that I put up in the spring. And this is all going to come out. Not the trellis, but this foliage. And I am going to grow peas, which came this morning in the mail. This is also, see if I can back up to give you a better shot. This bucket here, I grew pole beans in. The morning glories took over, and now I'm reclaiming it. So I'm also going to grow peas here. If you are familiar with my channel, you know that earlier in the spring and summer I grew potatoes here, and I harvested them a little bit earlier than what I would like to have. At any rate, I got a really nice harvest of squash. As a matter of fact, I got probably, I don't know, between 20 and 25 squash from out of here. It's kind of petering out now. So this is all going to come out, and underneath here is Malabar spinach, which also does not like the cold. So I'm going to harvest that, take all this out. This is what I call my rustic garden, and I'm going to grow cabbage and or collard greens in this area here. Like I said, the next time you see all this, you'll, or at least I know I will be able to appreciate the difference between what it is now, because look at this here. This is all eaten. So it's all going to have to come out. So here's some more good news. These are the carrots I planted on the 25th of August. They're less than a month old. So this will stay. Now, part of my plan for the winter is to take out this bin, and this bin. I had these hoops. I have about 4 or 5 of these hoops. When this comes out, this is going to make room for these guys. These are my ghost pepper plants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like I have 6. Plus I have another one on the other side. These are starting to come on now. And there, you can see some of them here. But there is a problem because they don't like the cold. So what I'm going to do is transfer them over into this area where I'm taking these bins out. So once they go in here and the hoops go up, I'll be able to cover them to give them shelter. Now, my next video is going to be titled Give Me Shelter. I'm going to give you 5 ways you can keep your plants frost free in the fall. So again, this side same as the other side. This was basically tomatoes on this side, and it was green beans on the other side. Each one of these crates will have either cabbage or collard greens. 1 per crate. I don't want to overcrowd the crate. So that takes care of that. And that's going to open up this area here. And I'm not sure what I'm going to put here. These are some more of the ghost peppers. But that is how things are looking now. Things are looking pretty rough. There's a lot to be done. But like I said, people want to show you the glamour, and that's fine, you know. But once you get out there, especially if you are a transitional gardener like I am, especially if you're going to be gardening in the winter, then you need to know, you need to understand that there's going to be some work involved. You don't have to plant all this or replant in the fall. As a matter of fact, I just did a video. It's kind of a contest, bragging rights only, for people to grow 1 container of carrots, not even this size, a $2 dishpan container of carrots. Why? Because some people don't like gardening in the winter. Some people don't like being out in the cold, being out in the snow. And it's not as much work as you think. But at any rate, if you are considering doing something larger than just a container, and if you had gardened in the summer, then yeah, there's going to be some work involved, but the payoff is great. So I'm going to get started on this. And like I said, I wanted you to see the ugly. I wanted you to see the way it is, the bugs that have eaten up my collards. I'm going to have to do something to deter them. And there's a lot to be done, but Rome wasn't built in a day. So I give myself 2 weeks. It probably won't take me 2 weeks. I'll do a little bit a day. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but I'll get this done, and I will show you the follow-up once everything is nice and pretty and planted and all set for the fall. So there is one more area that I want to show before I go. This is a new area for me. I kind of created it in the spring. This is my Meyer lemon tree that I grew from seed 4 years ago. And down here you have tomatoes that are growing, and more tomatoes over here. This area consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pots. Really 4, because the Meyer lemon tree lives in that pot. It's not going to be moved or changed or altered in any way. Now, part of me is like, oh, I have tomatoes coming up. And the other part of me is like, no, it's going to be October in about a week and a half. So this is not going to happen, not in zone 6B. So at this point, all this is going to come out. I have to take out this homemade trellis that I put up in the spring. It worked real well, by the way, because of my greenhouse. I had to put the panels back on my greenhouse, so this can't stay here for the winter. So once this is gone, these pots I'll be able to reuse over the winter. And what I'm going to do is add poles, and I will grow peas just like I'm growing on the other side behind me. So I'll put a couple of stakes in here, and I'll grow peas on the ends, and I'll probably grow either 1 head of cabbage or 1 head of collard greens in the center. This way I'm making use of these pots. So this is a big undertaking for me. A lot of people will look at this and go, this is a small garden. For some people it is, but for me, it's just the right size. So for now, I'm going to let you guys get on with your day or your evening. This is the Frugal Gardener. Keep an eye out for my next video where I'll be giving you updates. But in the meantime, remember, when you grow your own food, you'll always know where it comes from. Catch you later.